Okay, so now we're going to be setting up a system of equations within word problems and solving. So we're going to jump in. Number one, Cadence has 52 dolls in her collection, and all dolls either have blue or green eyes. So let's make the number of blue-eyed dolls X and the number of green-eyed dolls Y. So if I have 52 dolls total, that means that if I take the number of blue-eyed dolls plus the number of green-eyed dolls, I would get 52 dolls altogether. Then it says Cadence has 16 more blue-eyed dolls than green-eyed dolls. So what that means is that the number of green-eyed dolls, the number of blue-eyed dolls would equal 16 more than the number of green-eyed dolls. So I would do the number of green-eyed dolls plus 16. All right, and so now we are going to solve this system, but you get to decide what method to use. In number one, it's probably best to use substitution, because in my bottom equation I have a variable isolated, x. So I'm going to put y plus 16 in for x in my top equation. And now I'm going to solve from here. A y plus a y would be a 2y. And then now I'm going to subtract 16 from both sides. And divide by 2 on both sides. I get y is 18. Now, it's up to you what you want to do, but I'm going to put 18 in for this y plus 16 to get x. So I get x is 34. So, since we solved a word problem, we are going to write our answer in sentence form. We are going to say that Cadence has 34 and x was blue-eyed dolls. And 18 green-eyed dolls. And that's it. Okay, moving on to number 2. Dalton has 7 bills. All of these bills are 10s and 20s, and they total $100 in value. How many of each bill does he have? So let's make x represent the number of $10 bills and y represent the number of $20 bills. He has 7 bills in total, so if I take the number of $10 bills plus the number of $20 bills, this would be 7 bills total. Now their total value is 100. The value of a $10 bill is $10. So if I do 10 times the number of $10 bills, that would be how much money I have in $10 bills. I would need to add that to $20 bills have a value of $20. So if I do 20 times the number of $20 bills, y, that would give me the total amount of $20 bills that I have, or the total cost that I have. And if I add both of those together, that would give me my total value, which is $100. Again, it is up to you on how you want to solve. It does not matter to me. I'm going to solve using elimination. I'm going to get rid of my x's. It's up to you. You could have gotten rid of y's. You could also do this by substitution. I don't care. But I'm going to get rid of my x's and do elimination, which means I need to multiply my top equation by negative 10. So I have a negative 10x. Whoops, I said y. Or I said x, I wrote y. Negative 10x minus a 10y is equal to a negative 70. And then I have a 10x plus a 20y is equal to 100. And so now I'm going to add both these equations together. A negative 10x plus a 10x eliminates. A negative 10y plus a 20y is a 10y. And that would be a negative 70 plus a 100 is a 30. So now I'm going to divide both sides by 10. And I get y is equal to 3. We're going to take that 3, we're going to put it back into one of our original equations. It does not matter which one. The easier one is probably the top one though. So I have an x plus a 3 is equal to a 7. Subtracting 3 from both sides, I wind up with x is equal to 4. So I found my answers. Now I'm going to write my answer in a sentence. So Dalton has, x represented the amount of $10 bills, so 4 $10 bills and 3 $20 bills. And that is it. Alright, moving on to number 3. The telephone company offers 2 types of services. With Plan A, you can make an unlimited amount of local calls per month for $18.50. So this was Plan A. For Plan B, you have to pay $6.50 monthly plus 10 cents for each minute of calls after the first 40 minutes. We want to know at least how many minutes would you have to use the telephone plan each month to make Plan A the better option. So let's just do 1 month. So for Plan A, your cost for 1 month would be, the total cost Y would be $18.50 regardless of how many minutes you use. Now, for Plan B, your total cost Y would equal $6.50 for the month plus 10 cents, so the value of 10 cents is 0.10, times the number of minutes that you are using to make calls. But keep in mind, we'll deal with this later, this is after the first 40 minutes. So, we are going to use the substitution method here. I have y is equal to $18.50. I'm going to put that in for y in my bottom equation. So I have $18.50 is equal to $6.50 plus 10 cents per minute. All right, and now I'm going to solve for x, which is the number of minutes, by subtracting $6.50. And I wind up with 12 is equal to 10 cents per minute. And now I'm going to divide by 0.10 on both sides to get x would be 120. Now, this would be what it would take to make the phone plans equal. And it wouldn't just be 120 minutes, because remember with Plan B you get the first 40 minutes free. So 120 plus 40 minutes would be 160 minutes. But again, that would make both of these plans equal. All right, the cost would be equal if we talked for 160 minutes on the phone. We want at least how many minutes we would have to use the telephone to make plan A the better option. So we want plan A to be cheaper, which means that if we are talking for 160 minutes and both plans are exactly the same, that if I talk for 161 minutes, plan A will now become the cheaper option, plan B would become more expensive. So you would need to talk on the phone for 161 minutes to make plan A cheaper. All right. Number 4. Galena spent $3.60 for stamps to mail packages. Some were 30-cent stamps and some were 20-cent stamps. The number of 20-cent stamps was 2 less than the number of 30-cent stamps. How many stamps of each kind did Galena buy? So let's represent X to represent the number of 20-cent stamps and Y to represent the number of 30-cent stamps. Well, the total cost of the stamps to mail the packages was $3.60. The value of a 20-cent stamp is 0.20. So if I do 0.20 times the number of 20-cent stamps plus the value of 30-cent stamps is 0.30 times the number of 30-cent stamps that we used, the total cost should have been $3.60. And then the number of 20-cent stamps, which is X, was 2 less than the number of 30-cent stamps. So X minus 2 would give you the number of 30-cent stamps. Oh, I apologize. No. The number of 20-cent stamps means equals 2 less than the number of 30-cent stamps. The word than switches the order around, so we have Y minus 2. I apologize, that's the correct setup. All right, so now we are going to use the substitution method because it's already set up for us here. I'm going to put Y minus 2 in for X. So I have 0.20 times Y minus 2 plus 0.30Y is equal to $3.60. All right, distributing. Now combining like terms. Adding this over. And dividing the number of 30-cent stamps comes out to be 8. I want you to pause the video and try to find the number of 20-cent stamps now. And here's your answer, 6 20-cent stamps, 8 30-cent stamps.